Hey, New Thought Tuesdays. It's Dean and Rich. And Rich and Dean join us for this week unlocking your creative confidence. That's what we're talking about today. Unlocking your creative confidence, that aspect of your creativity that brings you love and light in the entertainment industry. So we know that navigating the challenges of the industry these days, and a lot of days, can sometimes feel like it's a kind of an uphill battle. But the good news is, with New Thought Ancient Wisdom teachings, your creative expression is not just an art form.
Yeah.
Divine calling. And so today, that's what we're going to be talking about, the divine calling, the confidence that you can experience through acknowledging and embracing consistently throughout your week, your divine calling, not just what you do to create in the world, but your divine calling in everything that you think, do, and say, and most especially in that divine desire you have to create in the world. So we're excited to be here with you today on this webinar, and we are going to explore that understanding of the creative expression and this divine calling and how you can boost your creativity and your creative confidence. So here's what we're going to go in today. We're going to talk about unlocking your creative confidence, overcoming those common obstacles that we have, and then discovering how your creative purpose can gain deeper insights into it. So discovering how that confidence in your creative purpose can bring deeper insights into who you are and what you have to give to the world. So that's what we're here about, Mr. Smith. That's what we're here for. Am I right?
Yep. We're here to build our confidence so that we can release any thing that's keeping us from fulfilling our mission in life, which is to create. We're here to create. And so I'm really excited about this topic today. Let's see.
Have you got, Mr. Smith, I've got a question for you before we launch to the, do you have any kind of story that you have about a creative breakthrough where you went from self-doubt into much more self-confidence, especially in the creative industry, any of your aspects of your creative projects that you've had in your life? Where you went from self-doubt into confidence.
Yeah. One of the things we had, self-doubt, friends and I, we produced a couple of feature films, and one got picked up by Warner Brothers, and then we didn't see any money out of it. We didn't even hear from them. We couldn't get a phone call with them. And so, that was discouraging, and it left us with a lack of confidence. So, I went and started to create a film festival online to be able to promote our film and also other independent filmmakers. And then my computer crashed, and I've told this story a number of times. And I went to bed and I prayed, tell me what to do with my life. And I come up with the 52 laws and principles. When I woke up, started writing them. And that gave me the confidence, because I felt like that was the divine calling, not necessarily going out and creating films that are going to inspire, enlighten, and entertain, but to work with other filmmakers, other creatives, so they can go out and make films that are going to inspire, enlighten, and entertain. And that gave me confidence, because I was channeling this information through. It wasn't just me out there trying to rack my brains coming up with what am I going to do with my life. It was a calling that just came forth. You pray, you ask, and you receive. And I asked and I received. And so that was my story of building confidence. And once I started teaching spiritual principles, I became more confident in myself.
Well, because when you're teaching and when you're studying these kind of things, when you study them consistently, there's such a cumulative effect. I've discovered over the years, and with each project that I've worked on, there's a cumulative effect to that upliftment, that spiritual upliftment, whether I'm doing a creative project or a spiritual coaching session or a spiritual project working with an organization or an individual. That as we focus on these principles, on these practices, on these methods, there's a confidence that is drawn, and it's kind of a confidence that comes in my case, in a sense of delight.
Yeah.
So whether it's been a creative project, being a musical piece or a concert or a play or movie or whatever I've been working on, I find that whatever I do, if I have embraced a sense of spiritual confidence, and we'll talk about how to do that in the inner circle.
Yeah.
When I embraced an inner confidence, that self-confidence, everything, my creative projects, my relationships, my finances, everything just kind of begins to uplift.
Well, how can it not? Because, because you are connected to this divine creator of all it is, and it's working in and as and through you. It's not withholding anything. Just knowing that gives me the confidence to go after my dreams, because I know that there's nothing stopping me but my own mind. And so you just got to get your mind straight on what you want, and your faith and your belief system that you're working with this power and presence that's creating through you, and it's not withholding anything. And so with that, that's where the confidence comes. But let's talk about, creatives in the entertainment business, and maybe some of the challenges that they're having, with lack of funding or.
Sure. Well, I mean, one of the things that we all come up against, I think, now and again, I say we all. I certainly came up with the idea of, I don't have the resources. I don't have the lack of funding, whether it be to pay my rent or buy those dance clothes that I wanted to have, or the voice lessons or what have you. Going through that sense of alignment and going away from the fear. It's like, I don't have enough. I want to do this so badly. I need to get some more. I don't have enough. This is one of the most significant challenges that I've faced as a creative individual over the years. And one of the things that's when I decided to focus my divine desire on my sense of abundance in all that I think, do, and say, and I did it in a number of ways. I did it through the science of mind. I did it through my formal Christian Science background. I did it through T. Harv Eker. I worked with my husband on it at the time, my now husband at it. We worked on it before we were married. We really focused on that mighty idea of creating abundance through a sense of confidence.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one exercise we had to do in a seminar, and it had to do with putting your hand through a board. And I'd never done that. I had no interest in doing it, and I was actually fearful of it. But what I was able to do is align myself and say, hey, I'm going to try this. I'm going to be present with it. And my hand went right through that board. And it was just such an idea of, it was a boundary. It was a block. To see myself have the confidence of going through those blocks, that's what I did it with the lack of funding.
Yeah, that was with T. Harv Eker, I would imagine.
It was.
Yeah. And I've done a number of his programs. And did you ever do the one with the arrow? You write on an arrow. Okay, an arrow, that you shoot. You write on it the thing you want to break through, okay, with a marker. And then you put the arrow here, and somebody holds the other end of it, and you have to push with your neck and break the arrow. And that shows that you can break through anything that's keeping you, that's blocking you, any fear, doubt, or worry. I'd rather delve into spiritual principles and learn about that than to put the arrow to my neck. It was kind of hairy, because he'd build it up like, if it splinters, don't pull it out because you could pull out your throat and all of this stuff. I mean, put the fear of God in you. And, yeah, it was crazy.
In that case, I'm not sure that the fear was false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
Maybe it was real evidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
but let's talk about the spiritual principles too.
But the spiritual principles that we've got on this really have to do with the breaking through. They help you to break through those, the arrow and the board. That's a metaphor for the spiritual principles. I mean, you've got to bring these ideas to your life, right? Just bring them to your life. And so when you're talking about financial constraints, Rich.
Yeah.
Do you remember how your mind shifted in those times when you were having the financial constraints and brought you into a mindset of confidence?
Yeah.
What was the key thing that shifted you? The
It
spiritual
was just starting out, and this is what I work with my clients, is you start out with small things and you start to manifest them, finding a parking space, uh, you know, whatever it is that you need to manifest to fulfill your dreams. Everything's available to you. Nothing's being withheld from you. The creator wants to create through you. It wants the most magnificent movie of your life. And so it's going to give you whatever you need. And so for me, it was like, for instance, when I was down and out and broke, I didn't have any money before. When I first started to learn these principles, I needed a new car, and I always drove junk box cars and they'd break down. Well, one time my wife said, well, Richard, will you teach this stuff? Why don't you just go out and buy a new car? And I'm there, you're right. And so we went up, we looked for a new car, and on the way up, we talked about it. And I told her I wanted that kind of car, a black Hyundai hybrid, all of these different things. We got to this dealer, and what was sitting there, a 3-year-old black Hyundai hybrid, the exact same thing we're talking about on the way up there. And so for me, it's like the demonstrations that you have build your faith. And with the faith, you have confidence, not just in yourself, but in this thing that's within you. I call it the genie within, this power and this presence that's within you. You have faith that that's watching your back, that it's taking care of you, The
key, ladies and gentlemen, New Thought Tuesdays, spiritual creatives, the key is to align your thoughts and your desires and your intentions with an attitude of confidence and abundance. Don't just focus on what you need.
Yeah.
But also what you want, what your contribution is, that creative idea that you're bringing out into the world, that film, your story, that creative expression. That shift, focusing your thought, will open you up to unexpected opportunities.
Yeah.
Solutions to what you might see as problems right now.
Yeah. And just the fact that you want this, that's the infinite wanting to create it through you. Our desires are not just our desires. There's that thing within us, the muse, whatever you want to call it, the divine presence. There's something within us that wants to create, and that's just the creator wanting to create through us. And so, one of the things that I've learned is that you got to let go of control and trust that the universe is aligning things in your favor. And when you do this work that we do, especially the spiritual mind treatment, which we are going to create a program, Dean, at some point on how to do the 5-step process. When you do something like that, all of a sudden you start to see everything aligned for you. The right people, places, and things get aligned up because they're already aligned up in the mind of the infinite. We're just over here thinking, we don't have, lack, limitation, fear, doubt, and worry. But the infinite is saying, no, you can have it all. It's all available to you. It's like Abraham talks about the vortex of creation. Whatever you want's already there. You're just over here thinking about something opposite. So the idea is to let go, let God, let go, let God. Let go and allow, It's the seed that can grow into the beautiful reality of your dreams. You got to keep nurturing those dreams if there's nothing to keep you from having them. And there isn't. There isn't anything to keep you from having it. You're working with that unlimited power and presence. It's not withholding anything from you. And it's creating in and as and through you. That's my take on it.
Talking about, we talk about New Thought, Ancient Wisdom, that we delve into New Thought, Ancient Wisdom. And what that basically means for Rich Smith and Dean Regan is we are focused on the teachings of Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, Emma Curtis Hopkins. We delve into Buddhism, as Rich just mentioned, the Abraham Hicks materials. We delve into, because we've had great experience with all of these materials and how they come together in what is called by many folks in the world, New Thought, Ancient Wisdom. These are new ideas, but they're not really new. These are ideas that have come up through the years, and we're applying them to our modern day world. And so that's our brief overview of what New Thought, Ancient Wisdom is.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the subjects we were going to talk about. Divine inspiration, Dean. What's your take on divine inspiration? Because we are being inspired by something, right? Where does it come from?
my take, and I've had this in spiritual realms, and I've also had this. I worked with a guy for many years that really allowed me to see in all of my projects that as people in the entertainment industry, and in fact, anyone who is using their creative ability, we are giving gifts to the world. We are chalices of love and light. Even if we're telling stories that are not loving and they're dark, we are bringing this information to the world to help them feel, sense, and know enlivened qualities in their life. We are spiritual sword carriers, I will say. That's where this whole divine inspiration hits into everything that we think, do, and say. Now, of course, we're here for the entertainment industry, folks, and we know not all of you are entertainment industry folks. That idea is creativity that we all use. We use this divine inspiration, call upon this divine inspiration in everything we think, do, and say, and we listen to these divine whispers.
Yeah.
Divine whispers, and learn to listen to that guidance that you get through your affirmations, meditation, through your visioning, to bring it into your work.
Yeah. In this context of creativity, that this becomes, the creativity within you becomes the means through which each of us can express ourselves and contribute in a special way, in a unique way that only we can express ourselves. We all have unique qualities. And these unique qualities are just, that's who and what we are. That's what we're being called to do. Like, my unique qualities weren't necessarily to go out and produce big blockbuster feature films like my vision was. My unique quality was to be attracted to spiritual principles and to be able to align myself with infinite intelligence and allow it to work in and as and through me. And so, we're all unique. You just have to find out what your calling is, what your uniqueness is. And so, there you go.
Because we see that we are individualized expressions of divine love.
Yeah.
Each one of us is an individualized expression, and we each bring this inherent value in our creative expression. So by having that inherent value and knowing it, there creates it in itself a creative confidence that is a giving and a receiving. It's the law of giving and receiving. You're giving that sense of confidence, that sense of creativity, that sense of abundance. You allow yourself to receive it as well. Not just give, or just take, but to give and to receive, and to be in that reciprocal law of giving and receiving with your creative ideas, with your creative projects. And this is an inherent creative value to what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Also aligning yourself with higher principles. We're encouraged to, infuse in our work these spiritual values that we have, and we foster a deeper connection with our audience. I was watching this seminar this morning. It was from Vimeo, for all you filmmakers out there, and they're talking about how you can use video to really touch people emotionally, spiritually, to connect with them. And through that, you can build your following through video. But you have to be able to connect with each individual and connect with that muse within them, that spark within them, that spirit within them.
And have the confidence that your work is creating that. Yeah. It is creating that creative connection, that creative unfolding, and having the confidence that your creative purpose is true. It's pure. It's life coming through you, and you're embracing it. You're embracing it. You're embracing it as a divine calling. And those of you who are new here, divine calling, not so woo-woo. It's really grounded in something amazing that is going on here. I'm not exactly sure how all of this is going, but I am sure of how to work with it, how it came into being. I can only imagine this infinity that's taking place, but I can imagine it in my creativity. I can imagine it in my relationships. I can imagine it in my abundance. And that's where that has brought a confidence in my experience. And one of the reasons I love to teach this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Before we end, and our time's almost up, I wanted to talk a little bit about your spiritual connections. And so, as creatives, spiritual creatives, that when we embrace that divine calling within us, I should talk about myself. When I embrace that divine quality, that love intelligence that's within me, then I feel like everything starts to flow. What am I trying to say here? Everything starts to flow, unfold in perfect order. My life unfolds in perfect order because I'm connected to that spiritual essence of who I am. And so that's what we want to encourage all of you to do, is to just connect with spirit.
Just connect with spirit.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about how we do that. We're going to talk about how we do this build that confidence in the inner circle today. So if you want to be a part of the inner circle in the future, all you have to do is go to newthoughttuesdays.com, click on Yes, I Want to Be Reminded, and we'll send you a brief email that will give you a link to how you can join this Zoom experience. And then we go in, turn off all the recordings, and we don't live stream this. And you can share or not share, depending on what you're comfortable with, to talk even deeper about how to go about bringing up this confidence. And
we also have some gifts for you too. When you go to sign up for the reminders, we also have a confidence tapping challenge that you can do. It's a 5-day confidence tapping challenge. Is it 5 days, Dean?
5 days.
5 days.
It was 5 of the best days of my life. Yeah. I swear. We had really such a good time putting this together. Do take it. It's our free gift to you. And it's amazingly good. And it's a 5-day tapping confidence challenge.
Yeah.
Do it. Get in contact with us. Send us how this works for you. The manifestation from it, in addition to the fact that just creating it brought me such joy, being able to do this tapping. I used this in a talk a few weeks ago, and now there's a certain affirmation that I used in this talk that for this period of time, all I have to do is this, and it lightens up my spirits just so delightfully. But you can go to newthoughttuesdays.com and sign up, and you'll be on our list, and we'll send you the link, and you can come in and join. We're looking forward to our conversation today. But in summary, Mr. Smith, for those of you who are here to the very end, thank you for continuing. The concept of creative expression is a divine calling in New Thought, Ancient Wisdom philosophy. It elevates the act of creating. It elevates creation to a sacred and purposeful endeavor. That confidence, that creativity imbues each creative work with this magnificent sense of inherent value and significance. So you are fostering confidence just in your creativity. You're fostering it in yourself, fostering it in others. And that this perspective, this sacred perspective in our craft, really encourages us to recognize our creative contribution, no matter how big or how small, on the set, on the stage, in the recording studio. We are all there to contribute to this magnificent world and bring our unique voice to shine an even brighter light all around the world and in this universe. We're committed to that at New Thought Tuesdays. Hey, let's go into the inner circle. Yeah. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Take care, and thank you for joining us. And take care. Bye.